Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer? What does that mean? Well, I'm always down for some new stuff. All right, let's get it.
A few moments later.
That's oh no, no, no.
He gonna get this work. He gonna get this work.
Okay, so forewarning, when I was taking these notes for this video while watching the show, I was a little infuriated, annoyed, if you will, at what I was watching. But trust me, this is all just critiques and jokes that come from a good place. I, in no means, intend to senselessly bash and be negative for no reason. But with all that being said,
I'm not happy, Bob.
Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer is a bad show, and it's gonna be funny to talk about it. I'm gonna keep this intro short because we're journeying through every episode so you can laugh at my painful experience. But before we get into it, of course, it would be painless for you to hit that like button.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button.
If you're new and find yourself enjoying the video, hit that subscribe button, join the lounge, and enjoy talking anime with fellow watchers. Hit that bell for notifications so you know when the lounge is going to be open again. There's a seat for you. Join us, chill with us, laugh with us. Now let's get into it. Okay, so we start off meeting main character Amamiya Yui. He wakes up and finds a talking lizard in his bed. The lizard says, "You have been chosen to be a knight who is tasked with protecting the princess and defeating an evil mage who plans to destroy the planet." And he actually has a reasonable reaction to this. I was actually liking Amamiya at first. He's like, bro, you are not about to just dump your fight and the fate of the entire planet on my hands. I just want to go back to my regular life. But then the rest of the episode happened. So we find out that the lizard was telling the truth and that Amamiya and 11 other beast knights must work together to protect the princess, who turns out to be his neighbor, who is the vessel for their creator. As a reward for becoming a knight, they will each be granted one wish for anything that they desire.
それマジ？じゃあ言ってもいいか？うせやがれこのクソトカゲ。
Bro, I've never seen people f up free wishes this bad since Dragon Ball. Just wait until you hear what these people start wishing for. It's hilarious. Each knight is granted powers in the form of holding fields, which are basically just little orbs of telekinesis. But the princess is given like superhuman abilities, super strength, durability, basically whatever the plot needs her to be able to do. We find out that the evil mage constructs these golems that they have to defeat, and every time they defeat one, another one is made stronger, with its level being indicated by the amount of eyes it has. The more eyes it has, the stronger it is. Then the princess was like, hey, join me on the roof real quick. She tells him to look up, and he finally sees what is going to destroy the planet. He looks up and sees this big ass
Hammer! Hammer! Hammer!
That hammer is the mage's strongest golem, and it's just waiting to plow straight into the earth.
Groovy, baby.
So then the princess just randomly jumps off the railing. He rushes to save her, and then she's like, "You're gonna help me stop that thing from destroying the planet." Aww. Because I'm going to be the one to destroy the planet.
Ho, ho, brother, ho, whoa, 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 now. You got too much dip on your chip. Hey, hey, hey! Kill your side, bitch. Ain't no kill us.
Yep. She immediately declares that now that she has power, she wants to destroy the planet. And then she says, "Swear your loyalty to me." And he does just that. This man, for whatever reason, immediately becomes enamored with this girl in this moment. He even calls her a little Lucifer. And these are the main characters that we're supposed to be rooting for. And then this guy just goes from being the Lizard Knight to the Simp Knight. I'm not even exaggerating. This man takes this knight shit to heart. Like, he applies it to his everyday life. He starts thinking he's really a knight and that she's a real princess. He doesn't even call her by her actual name anymore. He only refers to her as princess up until the end of the show. He starts dedicating his whole life to her. And he also adopts the character trait of being a damsel in distress. A golem attacks, he runs or he gets overwhelmed, and he has to get saved by either her or another knight. And so one night, he just asked her, why? Why do you want to destroy the world? What is the motivation for why she is doing what she is doing in this show? And I'm actually going to turn this over to y'all for a second. I want all of you, try and guess what her reasoning is. Try and think of the most illogical, foolish, insane reason you can think of and see if it's dumber than what hers is in this show. So go ahead, take a couple seconds.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Let the games begin.
All right, so you got yours? All right, this is her reasoning. She says, I love this planet, so I want it to be mine. But planets live longer than people do. If the Earth is still here after I am gone, then I can't call it mine. So I'm going to crush it with my own fist so I can own it for eternity.
You serious?
Even the lizard was looking like, bro, this is crazy. This motivation completely contradicts the entire premise of the show, but you'll see why later. And not only that, but again, we're supposed to be rooting for these characters. So Simp Knight's grandfather is sick. We learned that his grandfather tortured him into isolation to the point where he had these metaphorical and somehow literal chains holding him down, trying to prevent him from making friends or building relationships with other people. He told him, you can't trust anyone. The princess came and broke him out of that mindset and placed new literal chains on him, I guess. So now she just commands him as a princess. So I guess that's why he's so dedicated to her. But the grandfather is sick and close to death. So the Simp Knight eventually starts his path to forgiveness and uses his wish to help his grandfather get better. At the time, sensible wish. But that's at this time. Remember this wish, it's gonna be hilarious later. Now we meet the Dog Knight. And just as his animal companion implies, he got that dog in him. He shows up and immediately wants smoke with the princess. He said, prove you are worthy. She tried to swing on him and she can't even touch the man. He throwing her around. The Dog Knight explains that he is a master of ancient martial arts and neither lightning speed nor monstrous strength will work on him. I guess that's their way of explaining how this regular human is dominating this supernaturally powered princess in the battle. And they have names, but it's a lot of them, and I hate all these characters, so I just call them by their animal knight. Dog Knight starts training them because they both suck right now. Simp Knight sucks later too though, so. But now that the other knights are starting to come out, the Simp is like, Princess, we're gonna have to keep the plan to destroy the planet a secret from the other knights.
Shut your stupid ass up.
And even the lizard was getting tired of this man. Look at that side eye, bruh. So then another golem showed up. These golems are really irrelevant for a while. They just serve as a temporary action break to show what the characters can do. And so the Dog Knight comes in and takes it down. And it's here that they state that the Dog Knight has the strongest holding field out of all of the knights. So between the ancient martial arts mastery and having the strongest holding field, gee, I wonder how they're going to continue to have any problems with the golems when he's around. The Simp Knight sees how strong the Dog Knight is. Bro, he literally had bloodlust towards the Dog Knight because he felt he could stop the princess from destroying the planet. Mans was really taking this "I'll do whatever I can to help the princess" shit way too seriously. But he ends up becoming cool with the Dog Knight. He's still plotting on him though. So then the princess double downs on her psychotic tendencies, and she explains that before she became the vessel of Anima, she was very sick and had very little time left. And so after they destroy the hammer and the battle is over, Anima is gonna leave and she'll be back to being fatally sick again. But before her spirit leaves her body, she plans to force the earth to die with her.
I'm like, what do you say f me for?
And what's crazy is that they will be playing this emotional ass sad music like we're supposed to be sympathetic towards her. And whole time I'm like, bro, both of these characters. Should have called this show The Simp and the Sick. And by this point in the show, I was really struggling to care about any of these characters. And I was getting very bored with the slow moving, nonsensical plot and the deteriorating animation quality. But don't worry, things actually begin to get worse. So they introduce a huge logic gap in the show. Remember that the goals of the knights are to protect the princess and stop the mage. We can only assume that they're supposed to be protecting the princess from the golem attacks. But then they establish that the golems don't even target the princess. They don't care about her. They run from her. So what are they protecting her from? And she's easily defeating all of the golems she fights. So I'm confused as to why she even needs protection, but that's neither here nor there. They get attacked by a golem, and maybe it's a nitpick, but it's so prevalent throughout the show that it really takes away from the immersion. The fights lacked impact. I mean literal impact. Like when someone hits something, there's no sound to indicate that impact. It's missing that oomph. You always need the oomph. Imagine watching any fight in anime and there's no oomph. Anyway, they get attacked by a golem, and since they've established that the Dog Knight can't be beaten by brute strength and lightning speed, basically making him invincible against these golems, I begin thinking, how the f are they gonna lose with this guy around? Later on, the knights even refer to him as being the strongest, but then they remind you, oh yeah, he's with the Lizard Knight, and the Lizard Knight is ass. So the Dog Knight is basically babysitting the Simp Knight, trying to protect him. So the Dog Knight was like, look, all you gotta do is stay close, all right? It's your only job.
Nah, you stupid. Oh, Jesus!
And it's gone. I don't understand. How the f do you get a job and fuck up everything? Everything? Everything. This motherfucker has fucked up everything.
He was only in the show for like 2 full episodes and got taken out protecting this shitty protagonist. And I believe before he died, he used his wish to pass along his powers to the Simp Knight, somehow believing he was worthy to inherit that power. And I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but the princess had an opportunity to have a wish granted as well. And hopefully around this time, you're starting to piece together the puzzles to this illogical plot gap. Remember, she's suffering from this fatal illness that has no cure at this time, and so she wants the world to die with her. And if you're thinking, well, funny, if she has an opportunity to get any wish granted, then why is she still sick?
Food for thought.
So with the Dog Knight gone, they bring in his little brother, the Crow Knight.
Smell like in here. All y'all smell like to me.
And then we also meet the Horse Knight, who had the most redundant intro of the show. The man showed up and was like, I'm the Horse Knight. There are 12 knights and we have to defend the earth from the Biscuit.
Hammer! Hammer! Hammer!
And we'll stop the evil mage from destroying the planet. Bro telling us everything that's already been said. And then he just walked off like he had a mic drop moment. If you don't get your I wanna be relevant ass out of here.
Get him!
Yu-kun, Mikazuki-san, 以後騎士官の死闘を禁ずる。
Do you guys see what I mean? They really out here thinking they're a real knight and princess, like in real life. I can understand if this were a fantasy anime taking place in an actual kingdom with royalty, but they're just regular students in a regular city with irregular mindsets. They introduced the Snake Knight, and the lizard was like,
前回蛇の騎士が我が輩らトカゲの騎士をかばって死んだのだ。
ほう、でもよくあることなんじゃないの？
でもよくあることなんじゃないの？
But even back then, the Lizard Knight was getting the other knights killed because he had to be saved. And then he still died. This lizard is ass and has always been ass. And he was the main one talking about some, we have to work together to save the princess. And yet he's steady getting people killed and just moving on to the next candidate. That's some selfish shit. This man low-key a villain. It got so bad, the Snake Knight told this man, hey, don't even come out to the battlefield. You're not built for it. You'll just get in the way. And on top of all that, imagine just watching 24 episodes of animation that looks like this. So we finally meet the evil mage Animus, the one who created the Biscuit.
Hammer! Hammer! Hammer!
He's the one who's creating all the golems. He basically starts the build up towards the first relevant golem fight, the seven-eyed golem. And then they just said, F it, here's all the knights. All of a sudden, all of the knights just start popping up. We got the cat, chicken, turtle, mantis, and mouse, and owl. And then this girl wrapped this dirty ass curtain around her neck as a cape and tried to give this speech like a princess talking to her knights. Look at this man. This is annoying because the show takes itself so seriously.
愛してるぜ、魔王の騎士。
愛してます。我が魔王。
Okay, so I was gonna do a bit about, oh, what did she wish for? But I'm just gonna show you the scene. You have to see this shit for yourself.
私の願いは、お父さんやお母さん、私の家族が死ぬときは、笑って死ねますように。
Is this nigga serious?
I am not lying when I tell y'all that everyone in this show is psychotic. So we learn that Animus is supposedly a god of destruction born inside a human vessel. So he claims, at least. He believes that he exists to counteract the god who created the universe. So his ultimate goal is to return to the beginning of everything and witness it himself. He says all this while chilling with the Cat Knight, who shares his passion for universal knowledge. The Major's like, your big Chinese food eating ass probably wished for all the knowledge in the universe, didn't you? Cat Knight said, fuck you, hospital patient Flintstone funky foot ass. This what I use my wish for.
掌握領域特殊強化創造領域決めれ
So the Cat Knight is actually the most sensible character out of all the knights so far because he had the first optimal use of a wish. He actually wished to increase the power of his holding field, so now he can summon golems like the mage. Holy shit, we actually have someone showing a bit of common sense. It's kind of lazy, yeah, but hey, it's something at least. But then the Owl Knight comes out and destroys the golem, showing that he's actually siding with the mage. So apparently there's an option, even though the very existence of these knights is to oppose the mage. But fuck it, right? This show just started making up its own rules as it went. And then we meet the most important, the most essential character to the show, Master.
Psych!
He was a human who had inexplicable god powers and lived 500 years. How did he get the powers?
It don't fucking matter.
Is he a part of the knights fighting the evil mage?
No.
He dies.
Oh, Jesus!
That's all, folks.
And now we build towards the fight with the seven-eyed golem. You know it's about to go down because they do that whole characters looking up at the sky before a big battle cliche. So in preparation for the showdown with the seven-eyed golem, they were at the beach doing the whole yay, friendship and teamwork, togetherness cliche. The pacing of this show is weird. Everybody in this show just be chilling like there's not a big ass mallet about to smash the planet. There's no sense of urgency. We're given no time frame, so it's like it'll happen when it happens. There's no lead up to it. The mage doesn't need to collect souls or pieces to make it work. But forget all that, because now it's time. It's time for the first major showdown. It's the knights versus the seven-eyed golem. Let's see some of that exciting action in play. They immediately decide that it is impossible to kill this thing. All that bullshit about teamwork at the beach, and as soon as they start fighting, they immediately give up.
Jesus, please help.
And look at how strong this fucking mage is. He really just popped in, snatched him up, and teleported away. If he can do this, what the problem is? Drop that damn hammer, get on with this shit. And so it's here we find out that Anima is the mage's sister, who has powers just like him. The sister is the one who came up with this entire game with the princess and the knights as a way to restrict him from using the biscuit.
Hammer! Hammer! Hammer!
And the mage is like, she's using humans as pawns for this game, which is absolutely the truth, because remember, there was a generation of knights before this group and they all died, and she just moved on to a whole new group. And if you're wondering about any details about how the game actually works, don't worry, they never tell you.
Why? Because them, that's why.
And what's wild is that the girl who's acting as a princess was like, yeah, you should have never let me be able to get this power. Calling herself the great Lucifer. Bruh, who the fuck does that? And y'all want me rooting for this chick and her simp? I'm glad she's sick. She get a little bit of power and immediately starts calling herself Lucifer, wanting to destroy the world because she wants it for herself. This bitch was sick for a reason. God was trying to take her out. Even the mage was confused as f. He want to be in a better show. He can fit the description for any show that needs generic professor who turns evil for power. So they beat the golem via the power of friendship, and now it's time for the next one. So Anima finally shows up for the first time. She introduces mythic beasts, which is basically an evolution form for the beast knights. It turns them from weak ass knights to still being weak ass knights. Oh well, time for the next battle.
It's so good!